Anyone who knows me knows I would never blame the victims of a mass shooting for that mass shooting. Thoughts and prayers are fine, but we have to go beyond it. I took a shot at thoughts and prayers.
The thing that I'm getting from this is that David Pakman realizes this could be the canceling of David Pakman.
When I saw the tweet, I had two thoughts. My first thought was, I know what he's saying. And my second thought is, he's going to get in trouble for saying it this way.
So, look, I brought it up on screen so I won't get in trouble. David Pakman says, this is a stunning David Pakman tweet. I think it got over like 50,000 likes too, because that's David Pakman's type audience. They're liking this tweet. David Pakman says, and this is after the trans Christian school shooter goes and kills 3 kids, 3 9-year-olds, and 3 administrators or teachers or whatever, 3 adults. And David Pakman goes to his Twitter. He goes, oh, this will be a good tweet. Here, let me just tweet this out. He says, very surprising that there would be a mass shooting at a Christian school, given the lack of prayers is often blamed for these horrible events. Now, nobody blames the lack of prayers for these horrible events. They say they want to give their thoughts and prayers to the victims after these horrible things happen. And progressives accuse them of saying that this is what they're proffering in place of gun legislation. Well, no, they just don't think gun legislation is going to work the way that you work. This isn't like, if there was some magic legislation that would make this not happen, I think they would be in favor of that legislation. So this is not like a substitute for that magical legislation that will actually prevent these things from happening. So
I'm back.
You can argue whether or not that's the case. But so David Pakman continues. He says, is it possible they weren't praying enough or correctly despite being a Christian school? So he's basically saying these victims who have been killed by this homicidal maniac, maybe we're not praying enough or praying correctly to avoid this horrible tragedy.
Mm-hmm.
What a piece of shit.
I don't care. Why don't...
David Pakman is a monster.
It doesn't bother me at all.
I mean...
Because what is the point of the tweet? Is it supposed to be like, he's like, I'm outraged that we're not doing anything about it. Now, the thing is, it's a straw man, right?
Of course it is.
The left straw man of whenever these shootings happens is the right doesn't want to do anything to stop it. They just offer their thoughts and prayers, and the thoughts and prayers are meaningless, essentially, right? And so he's saying like, oh, thoughts and prayers didn't save anyone, right? Which, I mean, it's definitely like callous.
This is so
right
callous.
After a shooting.
This is so callous.
I mean, I don't know.
That's like, so David Pakman's mom dies in a car accident, and me tweeting out, well, I guess she should have learned to drive better.
Well,
like, what the fuck?
It's not quite. It would be more like if someone, it'd be more like if David Pakman had been advocating for years that seatbelts should be not mandatory, right? And then his mom died in a car accident because she wasn't wearing a seatbelt. You understand what I'm saying?
Why you gotta make it so complicated?
But that's because that's what was happening with the tweet. It's more specific. It's not like the point of the tweet.
I was emulating the callousness, not the point. It's not important that the situation is identical. It's callous as fuck.
It is callous. I'm not saying it's not, but I'm just saying the point of the tweet is not to rub salt in the wounds of people whose children died.
It does.
The point. I know it does. Incidentally, that's why I think it's callous. But that's not the intention of the tweet. The intention of the tweet is to try to say, oh, we should get gun control. Like, that's the point of the tweet.
Right.
Like, but I think some people don't understand that. And I think that's why some people are like so triggered about it. Because you can say, yeah, it's callous, which it is. It is very callous. It's in very poor taste. But the intention is not to be rubbing salt in the wounds of people who died. That was
This
not the
is
intention of the
this
tweet.
is exactly the move that Destiny did. Destiny's like, oh look, I'm this big brain progressive, and look, I understand what he's saying here, and the making the and I'm going,
Oh,
it doesn't
I didn't even
matter.
know. Did he talk about this?
Yeah, he retweeted it and was like,
Oh, okay. I didn't even see that.
basically signing off on it. I'm going, oh, you guys are so evil. Just you guys are so evil.
Well,
So
okay, but
evil.
so what is the evil part that
You're
you're
making
focusing on?
excuses for the callousness of it. You're like,
I'm
look,
not wait,
oh,
wait,
it's
wait,
not
wait.
even that big a deal.
I said it was Cal. I'm not making excuses for
Mhm.
it. I'm just saying that the intention was not. Do you agree though, that Dave Pakman's intention was not to rub salt in the wounds of people whose children died, right? Or do you disagree with?
I'm not certain. I'm not even certain, to tell you the truth.
Okay. I don't know
I
why
don't know
he
how
would
you
do
can tweet
that.
that out and not know that you're totally rubbing salt in the wounds
I
of
know exactly how he could
victims.
tweet it out.
Because you're a moron?
Yes, he sees this incident and he gets really angry. Says, "Oh my God, another fucking, shooting where a bunch of children needlessly died." And
Mhm.
then he directs his anger towards the thoughts and prayers crowd who he feels don't prevent the situation.
Right, but and inadvertently ends up blowing up the victims who are Christians.
Yeah, but I believe it was unintentional.
Still, you know.
It's a very poorly worded tweet, sure. I'm just saying that I think some people think like he was in like I think some people are interpreting the tweet wrongly. They think that Dave Hackman's like, ha ha ha, Christians died. That was I can fucking I can't read his mind, but I can almost guarantee you that was not the intention of the tweet.
Negligent homicide is still homicide.
Okay. Okay. That's a very woke thing to say, but okay.
Yeah. You'd think Mr. Woke, David Pakman, would realize that.
No, I don't disagree. But I mean, that is the woke argument is I don't care if you meant to offend me. As long as you offend me, that's all that matters.
This was pointed out to him pretty explicitly. I mean, he
Well, I'm
got
assuming
him.
that's why he deleted the tweet.
Yeah. No, he said he deleted the tweet because he was getting too many death threats.
Interesting.
Of course, he didn't show any of those death threats or anything,
Sure.
but you know.
Well, I mean, they're not supposed, you shouldn't, they would tell you not to do that.
Oh yeah, you're right. Never
I could
mind.
100% believe he would after the way people were interpreting that tweet. Because I remember when I first saw that tweet before it blew up, I'm like, that's going to get him in trouble. I was like, I know what you're trying to say, but that is not going to play well. So.
I got it.
Angrier about my tweet regarding yesterday's shooting in Nashville, Tennessee, than you are about the fact that 6 people, including 3 kids, are now dead as a result of that shooting.
No, I'm not angrier about your tweet than the shooting.
Actual shooter. Yeah.
Right. But your tweet is pretty fucking close, okay? Right behind it.
I don't think it's right behind it, but
Well, I do. I see blood on those hands, okay?
I see.
Then we have a real problem here. I support people who pray if they want to pray, praying, if that's important to them. But it doesn't prevent shootings.
Okay, so he realized, he's like, oh shit, this could totally be interpreted as me going full anti-theist on these little kids here.
Of course. Yeah.
And he has a history of being an anti-theist, so he's like, he played right in.
Yeah.
He slipped it on a
Yes.
banana peel here.
And so when elected officials offer nothing more than thoughts and prayers, and then we have another shooting and another one, and they continue to offer nothing more than thoughts and prayers, they were the target of my ire, not the victims of the shooting. And that I stand by 100%. Anyone who knows me knows I would never blame the victims of a mass shooting for that mass shooting. Thoughts and prayers are fine, but we have to go beyond it. I took a shot at thoughts and prayers, and every parent I know is feeling the fury and the anger and the frustration. I've laid out plans, detailed, to actually do something about mass shootings. 10 different points.
The thing that I'm getting from this is that David Pakman realizes this could be the canceling of David Pakman.
No, he's not. Are you kidding me?
You don't think he's going to get canceled over this?
No. Like who?
I don't know. Maybe his audience is like, I mean, I saw like 20,000 likes on the tweet, and that disgusted me even more.
Because they understood what he was trying to say.
Right. Okay.
Why did it, okay, so let me ask, why did it bother you so much?
Because I felt like he was targeting the victims.
Right. But if he wasn't and people interpreted him as not doing that, that's what they're liking. They're not liking targeting the victims.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah, I guess
assuming.
you're right.
Like, I don't know.
Look,
I'm sure there's some crazy people out there.
I thought somebody responded when I called him out and was like, "This was edgy humor. You should have liked it." And I was like, I'm like, seek medical attention. This is not David. Look, he's not even saying it was a joke here.
No, I don't think it was edgy humor. I wouldn't classify it that either.
Yeah. I'm like, if you're
It,
seeing this as edgy humor, there's some kind of psychological problem with
it
you.
was sarcastic. So I guess maybe that's the confusion. It was sarcastic. Definitely. So
Ouch.
it was like what was the guy famous guy that wrote Gulliver's Travel, he wrote the book about like we should eat the children.
Yeah.
The poor children. So
Let's
was
go
that
back.
common sense?
Do you want to watch any more of this? I feel
No,
like,
I mean we got the gist of it. It's basically confirming what I thought what he would say.
It's basically 4 minutes of David Pakman saying, "You totally misread my tweet."
Right. Right. Well, but I don't know. But here's my question. I don't know. When I saw a tweet, here's what I don't understand. And maybe some people in the chat can weigh in. Because I'm reading the comments under this video. And when I saw the tweet, I had two thoughts. My first thought was, I know what he's saying. And my second thought is, he's going to get in trouble for saying it this way.
Yeah.
Because I knew what he was saying, but I also knew that people were going to interpret it as him attacking the victims. I knew instantly when I saw the tweet, that's the way I was going to read. But when I read the comments, like, do people really not understand what he was trying to say? Is it performative stupidity? Or let me say, is it real that people don't understand what he's trying to say? Or is it performative stupidity just to attack someone that they don't like because they don't like Dave Pakman? Like what is happening in this?
Well, I wouldn't call it performative stupidity. Most people can see it both ways and can see that it can be seen both ways, but they understand seeing it one way is more advantageous for them than seeing it the other way. So I like
that is performative stupidity. If you understand,
but if somebody's coming out and saying, "No, you can't see it the way that you're interpreting it," I'd say that's performative stupidity.
So when I say performative stupidity, I mean someone who understands exactly what you're saying, but is pretending like they don't in order to score political points against you. So, like, and I'm looking at the comments, there are some people that are like, oh, I understand what you're saying, but it was a bad take. But there are some people that are just like, oh my God, you're making jokes that children died. Why are you making jokes that children died? Why are you blaming the victim? Like, there's so many people in the comments that are like, I'm like, do they honestly not understand what he was trying to say? I mean, it's possible, I guess. I know that people get very emotional and it like kind of prevents your ability to process information. So, and especially when it comes to something this like emotional, like the death of children, you have to be very careful because it's very easy for people to become, in that state of mind where they're just not going to see whatever you're saying.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not one of those people. Obviously, I can see it both ways.
No, I mean, I understand. Yeah, you understand.
You're basically saying, but Adam, shouldn't you see it the way that David Pakman
That's not what I'm saying.
most likely intended it? And I'm saying, no, God damn it, I hate David Pakman, and I'm never going to see it that way. And don't try to force me to.
Well, that's performative stupidity because you know that's what he meant, but you're like, but I don't like David, so I want it. I want so bad. You're giving me this juicy metal pipe I can bang David Pakman over the head with, and you're telling me not to do it. Sitch, stop. I understand.
Why? Hi, you just listened to a clip from the Sitch and Adams show. If you like what you heard, you can listen to our live show right here on this channel on Sunday, starting at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. And if you want, you can super chat us. We read $20 and up super chats on the show and then do a follow-up stream on the following Tuesday where we read the rest of the unread super chats and interact with fans of the show. Subscribe to this channel right here to listen to the live show or to listen to more of our awesome clips.